exception in like and I will explain a little bit about my coding in this assignment. So yeah, let's just talk about an overview of exception. So what is an exception? Exception is like taking about it will capture it will roll and then capture about the error handling when we are the developer. We want to like diminish all the error or the bugs, and also that we want to like about some like had an error in behind the terminal to show to the terminal. So yeah, and like the exception also like be available in the in the user, because like for example you go to like a login page and then the user instead of typing about the age they just type about the word and it's showing about the error in there, and also showing about the location of that error and telling that how they can like got the correct input. So let's just go to my code to see like a different type of error handling, different type of exception in here. So let's just go to the first one. Okay, so okay, so the first thing I want to say that is about divided by zero exception. So divided by zero exception is really easy, because like we got like five, we got like two number, right? And you already know that five divide or on the numbers that is divided by zero, we cannot get that value. So it exactly will just show to the terminal that like like divided by zero exception. And in order to capture that thing, I'm creating about a try cat function. And yeah, in here I just got like I create about two new variable, which is a equal to 5 and b equal to 0, and all and two of them with the data type in integer. And I'm using about the try cat function in order to capture about the exception of the divide zero exceptions. So I'm create about the var to start about the value in here, and console write the c in here. And then I'm also using about the cat function, and which a and also like about showing to the terminal that the message is that what type is it. And then the stack, the stack tray is like about is showing about into the where the location of that error is. And then the get type and name, it was showing about which type of like about the exception we have. In this case it like divide by zero. And also console realize that I have errors in here. So let's just run it. .NET run, to see that error. So you can see that we also got like about attempt to divide by zero, which is from about this console realize. And then the stack tray is showing that about, okay, so in the program main string age, we got like the error line 13, which is like about var c a divided by b in here, and we have like error. So in order to solving this one is really easy, because like like the inch, it just got like we got like an integer, right? So 5 divided by 0 we cannot. But if we changing something like to float, so yeah, if 5 divided by 0, that float we got like about a decimal number, right? So 000. So yeah, 5 divided by 00000, it exactly got like about an infinite number. So let's just try it. If I want to change something to float in here, and then I run it again, you can see that index out of range exception, and then it's showing about the infinite, like about, although that it's not showing about exact error in here, but it show like about the infinite solution, infinite number in here. So if we don't have like about the try and cat exception, we just didn't know what type of index in here. We didn't know like we got the errors, and we just like ignore this thing. And that's exactly just like create a box. So yeah, let's just make this thing to inch, and then oops. Okay, so yeah, delete this one. So I'm exactly just talking about the index out range in here, which you already see in here, index out range. but like I'm exactly just do like about a different case, like about if we are create about the array with got like about two elements, which is 1 and 2, and then I'm create about the var function, which is want to take the values which in the array which have the index of 5, but in here we just have like two elements which is represent that index is equal to 2. So that's the reason why we got an error in here, and it was showing that index out of range. So yeah, let's just run it. Okay, so it's showing about the error about like 36. Okay, so I forgot this one. So let's just try again. .NET run. Okay, it's showing about 5 because like we already making this one. If I, the first thing we already solved that thing, like so if exactly just showing not showing about the error about divided 0 exception, but in here showing the index out of range exception because like we want to access like the index have a location in 5, but like in the array we just got like 2 elements, so that's exactly just like wrong error, wrong, it exactly just give us about the exception in here. So let's just go to about the format exception. So format exception is really easy. It's just like when we are when we are typing about in here, in this case, enter your age, and then instead of just instead but we typing about the word, no, we typing about the number, we exactly just typed about the word, and that thing we show it about the format exception. So I'm already using the same with it showing about the message, the stock rate, and then the type of that exception. So let's just run it. .NET run, and then it tell us to like enter your age. So what if I'm telling the word, and it's showing about the format exception in here, and it also tell that the input string is one not in correct format, and it's showing about we got the error at line 39, which is this one. So about the like about the casting. So yeah. So let's just go to about the new reference exception. This thing is really great, and I'm exactly also talking the follow it by about the argument new exception. So the difference between two of them is like argument new exception is checking the argument that is not accidentally new, but like the new reference is checking the statement want to accept the value is new. So this one is the new reference exception is checking like about if that thing we checking whether that value is new or not, whether like user type in new or not. But like the argument new exception is checking like if that thing if user type in like we action is new, or they can type something. For example, if like about the new reference is checking about the array is new or not, and the argument new exception is checking like about user is typing nothing, or they can type something else. Yeah, let's just try it, this one. Okay, so .NET run. So you can see that we got like about the new reference exception because like we got like about the string name new, and then we also like row new your name should not be new, and then we also got about the integer name in here. But like because it's new, so we cannot get the length of that name, right? So it exactly just show what about the new reference exception in here, and we also cat this thing. So this thing, like these two kind of exception is very similar, but the difference is really minor. So we can, like you can also using mix two of them. So you can choose whatever you want, but like it just got like a little bit different. So yeah. And this is all about the new reference exception. Now it's all about the argument. Yeah, argument exception. So let's just run it, and then I will explain it. Let's just delete this one first. Okay, so it's showing about the argument no exception. In this case, I'm creating about the static void about the input, taking about one parameter to taking about the input in here, but like because I'm using about the stripe function, and the string input is equal to new, and then I'm calling about the input method in here, and then put in the input 1, which is the new got about the new value, and then it's checking about if new is equal if input 1 equal to new, it exactly just showing about the argument exception, like about the input can be new. So that's it about the way that we can like about rolling about the exception. And then the cat function, we exactly just taking that function and then tell us about the stack array message or about the type of that thing. And yeah, this thing, because like we want to get like about the argument new exceptions, so we can we can tell it specific in this case in the cast function in the cast in here. So if you're not like about if it the exception is not really important, we can just type like exception, it's still working. But like if you want to get like the detail of the type in here, we need to type another way. So yeah, let's just like remove this one, and we're just going to like about the stack overflow exception. So the stack overflow exception is exactly what just like when we got like about it two is this stack overflow exception is really rare in like about in the real world programming. So yeah, the stack overflow exception is like when you're calling about a method and then you call it again inside that method. So we got like about method inside a method, and that thing always increment by 1, and it's just like about an infinite loop. So it's like a stack over stack, like method over the method, and then it's going until it's like out range. So that's how it's working. So in here, I'm creating about the increase with like taking about the parameter is like the cow with the data type integer, and then I'm calling about the increase with is 0, and then when it's going to in here, the cow is like plus 10, and then it exactly just going back the loop in here, going back this one, it just going like about in the circle, something like that. And let's just run it. It exactly was just showing about the exception, because like you can see that we got like about the stack overflow in here with the repeat is like 261,367 times, and yeah, it was showing about it's showing about this so it showed like the location where it's got wrong, where it got like exceptions. So yeah, that thing is really rare in about real world program. So let's just go to the next thing. I just play this one first, and then about the out of memory exception. So this thing is like really interesting, because like we usually see this one in real world, because like we create about the float function with the name of that the float of the array, and the name of that is like my array, and then I'm create about instead of taking about the array, we instead of just taking about the max value inside of it. And that thing is like really huge, because the max value in my computer is like 2 million or 2 trillion, I cannot remember, but like it's really large. So that's the reason why if your RAM doesn't have enough space, in a big computer it can store it, but like because like we just got like about the programmer just got like the small computer, and our RAM is not enough. So that's the reason why it got that exception in here. And we are using all the same, using about x1 of message stack array, and then get type that and telling about a specific cat function in here. Let's just run it. Okay, so it's showing about your name should not be new, and it's got like out memory exceptions. Line 54, what? Okay, so we just delete this one and then run it again. Okay, so it's showing about array dimension exists supported range. So because it's our range, so it's showing about the exceptions, and it's showing about live 105 in here, and then showing the data type of that exception, the type of that exception, yeah. And then we got like about the system exception. So system exception is really general. System exception is like something is general, and then in the specific thing in that, we got like about more exception, like about exception to brain, something like that. because like exception is nothing. So yeah, we just like row new system exception, and in example we just still showing error. .NET run. So you can see that the system error, and then it's showing like 117, then it's showing a system error. So system error is about the general, like general exceptions. Like like instead of calling about the exception in here, system exception, we can calling about something like exception. So it's similar to exception in this case. So yeah, it's but like like the exception is just exception is just like telling about the general, but like the system, the exception is just like telling something a little bit more specific. And yeah, let's just go to the next thing. So in this case, we are talking about both the argument exception and argument out of range exception. So argument exception is appear when every statement does not satisfy the condition, and it's exactly just more general. So like if for example, if we got like about the if statement, and then I want to type user like type age equal to 5, if user is like not typing like a equal to 5, instead of just showing an exception. And what about the argument out range exception? It is more specific. It's checking if that out range, then it will show the exception. Like about if and create about the age, like within the range between like about 5 to 100. If it out range, it will roll about the exception in this case. So let's just run it. Okay, so yeah, I'm exactly just doing the first thing like the first exception, like argument out range exception. And yeah, I'm create about type the name in here, and then store the user input into like the integer with each age, and then calling about the method each age, then taking that parameter in here. So if that thing is the out range like about less than, if it out range between like 1 to 155, 159, it exactly just wrote about a new argument, wrote about a new exceptions. And this thing is why the cat that function in here. So like let's just run it. .NET run. So if I type like -1, you can see the argument out range exception in this case. And it also showing about the invalid a, because like I wrote about the new range exception, and then also tell about the user that we got like invalid age. So let's just go to the next thing, and because I need to comment this one, because like it cannot run at the same time, because you already know that when we got like the cat function, it example just break the out program. So yeah, let's just so let's type it again. Okay, let's type Kevin. I don't want to type Kevin. I want to call like hello, and then it will show like argument exception, because like as I mentioned before, like about argument exception, it checking like whether that thing is equal or not. So in this case, if user not typing Kevin, it's showing about invalid name in here, and told about the type of that exception. So yeah, that's it.